All right, guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Another live stream. In fact, in this particular live stream, I'm going to set some rules so everybody understands what we're going to do in different segments, right? So in the beginning, we'll talk about whatever today's subject is, whatever the title says. We're going to talk about that for the first 10-15 minutes. And then we're going to move over to community Q&A, because we do a lot of community engagements on this channel, and I think a lot of people just don't have the time for all of those things. So we will talk about this, and then at the end we might have other discussions talking about any plugs or whatever we have. We're going to drop that at the end so everybody knows exactly what's going on. So if there is any plans, any future plans or any ideas or whatnot, we're going to drop that at the end. Okay. So I know a whole bunch of people right now are talking about, like, subjects we should talk about, like weather, this, that. Yeah, weather today in the UK is bad, and we'll drop that as well if that's what they want. I can see the notification. So let's start off with the first part. So this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the Bitcoin's current trend that we see. And I see Roach here. Roach, my brother, nice to see you. And Roach said something about what do I think the market's going to do next month. So we are going to talk about that because this kind of falls in line with our thumbnail that we made, and the subject in hand, right? So G-Shock is here. What's up, my brother? Nice, awesome. You're perfectly in time. We literally just started, G-Shock. So we're going to talk about the market right now, and then we'll move on to the community Q&A, and then I'll drop a few bits and bobs, a few things that I have in my mind. So we're going to talk about that at the end. So those of you guys who do stick around to the end, maybe there might be some value for you. Salam, my brother. Nice to see you as well, Adam. So at the end, we are going to drop a few bits and bobs, and hopefully we might find some value because, look, I'm a community guy. This channel's all about community engagement, and it gives a perfect opportunity. It's not like your usual crypto channels, right, where people literally have a camera on, say whatever BS they want, and then they get lost, right? Or probably come back and answer a few bits and bobs in the comments later on because they want the algorithms to move. Even on a live stream, they probably ignore everybody unless someone actually does a paid chat. You know what I mean? So none of that business here. Of course, you're all welcome to use the buy me a coffee link and this, that, if you do want to support the channel, but I'm not here plugging any of those things. And when I said plug at the end, we're going to talk about other stuff. So let's go into the content for now. Enough of the freaking intro, because I'm not here for the intro, but I just wanted to set some rules so everybody understands, because most of you guys are my regular viewers, and I wanted everybody to understand. Guys, we'll do the first 10-15 minutes, we'll do the main content, then we'll move over to the community stuff, and then at the end, if there is some thoughts on ideas that I want to talk about, we'll do that right at the end, because most people who come to this channel do not stick to the end. So they will miss out on a lot of stuff that we might in the future or even now we start talking about. So that's what's going to happen, right? So start off with the market, start the show, start the show, enough the intro. So total market cap right now sitting at $3.33 trillion, which is absolutely brilliant. It's $130 billion more than what we had yesterday or day before. I think it was $3.2 trillion. So we are looking good. BTC's currently sitting at $97,400, right? I see Bubble here. Nice to see you, my brother. Nice to see you. So 97,500 right now. So it's pumping. We are in a pump right now. Also, when I look at the daily trends, we are noticing that, especially on the RSI and the stochastic RSI, they are coming in for a reset. In fact, the RSI has already reset, which is a freaking brilliant bullish signal for us. We are going to go towards the $99,000 level. We will definitely test that. Now, if we do not break that, then it's okay. Don't panic, right? Don't panic. That's what I need to say to you. But if we do break that, which we are going to, and I'll come to this in a bit, we will see some brand new all-time high, and we should see a new all-time high for the total market cap as well. Now, when I look at the market on the 3-day, I don't really see much of a reset, to be honest, right? I don't see much of a reset. However, because the daily, we're going to have so much power on these daily candles, we could potentially start moving the market. So we do have a couple of more days to observe. Now we're going to talk about these daily thing and when to actually observe. That's the key here as well. So today is a Thursday here in the UK, and when I move over to the weekly, and I start analyzing on a weekly chart, BTC, it looks fascinating, right? Because we do have a very lovely bullish candle pattern. Now, normally I don't follow candle patterns because it doesn't matter. It's all about the trend. But again, it kind of falls in line with that 1 day chart, and the 1 day RSI as well kind of falls in line with that. And it says, guys, look, yeah, we may have been a bit bearish, but try and look in between that and zoom in a little bit, because we are showing signals that we want to be bullish. So that means that we will possibly close a green, even though trending wise we are still below the trend, right? As I said, to invalidate it, we have to get to the 99k. Even if we test that, technically that kind of reverses the pattern, which means next week things could look very interesting. Now, when we move over to the 2 week, so you see how I'm moving through the timeline. So I've obviously started my charts zoomed in, and all I'm doing is zooming out, because as I zoom out, I get to see more and more data. Remember what I said, every hour has 60 minutes worth of data, and every minute has 60 seconds worth of data. Similar way, every day has 24 hours worth of data. And when I move over to the weekly or the 3 day, you just multiply the number of days and hours, and you get to see how much more data you have. So you're getting more and more confident, right? So when I move over to the 2 week, right, things get very interesting. In fact, it gets so interesting, it tells me that in the next 3 days, 3 days from now, right? So that means Friday, Saturday, Sunday, means on Sunday, when we close that candle, there's no ifs and buts. This is crazy when I'm telling you this, right? There's no ifs and buts. We are opening freaking bullish, right? We are opening bullish. So there's no more buy the dip. That chance is gone now. We were so excited with all the reds, right? I know a lot of people didn't feel the same way. I've even been questioned, why do you get so excited? Guys, we just bought the red. We're in a green now, and we're heading for a bigger green. So when that 2 week candle closes on Sunday, and I know the next one's going to be a green one, we could potentially have this go on for another 4 to 5 weeks. So moving into the monthly, something fascinating happened as well because of that 2 week candle. Now, obviously, we had a bit of an overlap because of when the new year started, right? But 3 days from now, we actually gonna get a massive bullish signal on the monthly candle. Now, that's freaking insanity, because when we get that, for that candle to change and give us any other indication, it will take an entire freaking month, right? So I'm absolutely amazed. I'm like, do you know what? This is just okay. It was a few days late because we were expecting it to be on the 1st of January. It just didn't happen on the 1st of January because of that overlap. Okay, it was an interesting candle, but so far the market's reacted and the signals are pretty much in, which tells me that if we have a bullish candle, which is already printing right now, the January is going to be bullish. February is going to open up bullish as well. That means we're going to last all the way up to March. So we now have a extension on our February to March. So we're saying, okay, we're going to be okay until March, right? But sometimes when that momentum kicks in, and if the momentum has enough energy behind it, things get even more interesting, because it actually tells us that, guys, actually maybe we might go beyond March. So we want to be super hyper optimistic right now, because this thing is telling me we could potentially, so understand, this is not financial advice, guys. Don't go and bet your house and sell your farm, right? Don't do that. This is not that moment. That moment will come when I want you guys to, when I say this is a financial advice, and go and sell your house, go and sell your farm, go and sell whatever you can. There's a time for that, but now is not that time. But we do know, those of us that are already in it, those of us that love the red, those of us that bought the red, those of us that bought the dips, we're about to get something insane come to us. And if the parabola comes in and we do get the momentum that we're looking for, and the altcoins push the way we want them to, then this could actually go all the way to March, April, May, right? So I'm giving you like a future kind of a probability here. This could actually go all the way up to May. It gets insane. So then we have to observe. Obviously, we're going to take each week at a time. But so far, looking at all the data, remember what I said, that trend, when we had that trend going down, I said, guys, this is brilliant for us. Many people don't see it the way we see it, because we went to $108,000. Great. So what? We don't care how high we go. we care about how low we go and where do we go and stabilize. So when we went and stabilized around the $92,000, even though we went to 91,300 or something, it didn't matter because that was a sideways pattern. And I said, okay, even if we go lower, we can still go all the way to about $76,000. We don't have a problem. 69 would be an invalidation. We are actually very good doing that because that gives us a ABC wave pattern and also brings us back down and resets the market, which is exactly what's happened. Jaffa Clips, I'll see you. Nice, my brother. nice to see you. I will read the chats by the way, guys. But so I see that insane move coming, and I think it's going to be freaking awesome for all of us as well. So those of you who have bought the dip, especially in the major ones, guys, remember when we're talking about most of the coins here, and I'm being serious here, we're not talking about the meme coins, guys. We're talking about the altcoins. Meme coins is a whole other level. We love meme coins, right? We love meme coins. We love trading them. We love going into them. There's a whole strategy for that, but this is especially for the major coins, the major altcoins, and BTC. And of course, we're using BTC as our indicator because it is the most dominant coin right now for the market trends, because that's all it's telling us. All of that BTC dominance, that 57% dominance that we have right now, that's telling us what direction the market's going to be going. So far so good. I'm really happy. Now there is one thing I am quite disappointed with, again with the alts, right? So not too much, but I am like 50-50 disappointed. What I would have really liked to see is BTC doing 1% up and everything else doing 10% up, right? And there have been one or two coins who have done it, so I'm not totally disappointed. But again, those coins are just new coins. They're in price discovery, right? In fact, there was a coin I called the other day and I said, guys, if there is a coin you guys want to look at, maybe you want to look at Sologenic. And Sologenic's pump today, I think it did like 23 or 24% pump today. So those of you who did that, I said, guys, adjust your stop loss. That was what the message I sent this morning on Discord. I said, guys, it's time for you to adjust your stop loss. And those of the guys who are on Discord, they know who they are, right? So there are a few people who contacted me and said, should we buy? I said, yeah, you can buy it, no worries. So they adjusted their stop loss. And now even if it goes down, right? I said, look, 5%. If it goes down 5% below where it is, lock in your profits. Don't worry about it. We're going to buy it again. And now we're going to basically accumulate a little bit more because this has potential. So that's exactly what's happening right now. So we pumped 23%, and then we dumped a little bit. So it doesn't matter. We're just going to buy a little bit more, and we're going to accumulate a little bit more coins and move forward, right? And of course, as I said, the other alts, right? So when I'm looking at the other alts, so far what I'm seeing is BTC has done 3%. Everything else has done 3%. Now, that's bad. That's not what we want, right? We want to see BTC do 3%, other coins do 20%, 30%, right? Because that's going to be the one we're looking for. So wait for that. That's the one that I'm hoping for. That's the one that rockets all the altcoins. Because remember, guys, we have a rule, right? A simple rule, right? We don't buy BTC and hold BTC to make money. You don't do that. You save into BTC, right? Whether you do it or not, that's a different story. But that's what I do, right? I use alts for making money. So alts to make money, to buy BTC. Make money, buy BTC. That's the rules, right? So that's what I'm hoping for, and I think there's a good potential. So far, as I said, everything's looking good. Alts are a little bit disappointing, right? I don't know who's going to be, but somebody has to lead. So far, somebody has to lead. Who, I don't know. Today, when I'm looking at the chart, right, funnily, the ones that I do see move, Solana's leading. Solana's done 6%. Everything else is done 3% compared to BTC's 3%. Solana's done 6%. So that's good, right? But even then, it's not big enough. See, if we want to see an altcoin move, we need to at least see the massive 15 to 20% compared to BTC's 1 or 2%. That means the altcoins are now leading. That's what we want to see, right? So it will be interesting. It will be very interesting because I have been looking at some of the charts. But yeah, I mean, most of the ones have bled out quite a bit. They haven't recovered much. But let's see what happens. So far, so good. Everything looks positive. Again, we don't really want BTC to move too fast. But so far, so good. And as I said, it looks super solid. It looks super solid. And of course, none of this is financial advice, guys. Please do your own research. But most importantly, if you do buy any of the coins, even now, right, there's no harm in buying even now. You can buy whenever you want. But the only advice I'm going to give to you is please use some risk management and always have a stop loss, right? Stop loss. And, especially during these time, your range, your delta should be tight, right? So, you know, when we know everything's moving in a particular direction and we're going to see BTC go from 20K to 100K, for example, when we know those numbers, or not even 100K, let's say we're going to go from 20K to 40K, so we're going to double. That time we can lower our delta and we can say, you know what, we're going to put it 25%. It doesn't matter. We're going to put it 10% because we don't want to be stopped out. Right now, we do want to be stopped out, right? So play it carefully. That's what I'm going to say. That's my advice to all of you guys. And yeah, I mean, as I mentioned the other day as well, I said, guys, keep a eye on the AI agents because they don't seem to care about what the market's doing because of the current narrative. But there's so many coming out because people are moving into the hype. Just similar way when the NFTs came out, the NFT hype, everybody started doing NFT, right? It was NFT, and then now look what's happened to that. When people were doing meme coins, right? And when like Doge and everybody started popping and people started to do meme coins and it got cheaper and cheaper to make meme coins. Now look at us, we're doing like 60,000, 50 to 60,000 meme coins on Solana. That's just one blockchain, right? Now imagine how many more blockchains we have. We have like close to like, I think 4 or 5,000 blockchains. So it's getting a bit ridiculous. And also talking about 4 or 5,000 blockchains, years ago it was harder to make a blockchain, but now with the technology it's getting so much easier, right? That you can basically launch a blockchain within a few minutes. And that's another reason why we're seeing this flood of blockchains coming. So much easier to do. So when that AI agent narrative goes away, so right now AI agents, everyone's just pumping out AI agents, be careful. Not all of them are legit, right? Just be careful. My best advice is that I can give to you, my humble advice I can give to you is if anything has gone to a centralized exchange, focus on that because at least you know that, okay, now the liquidity is there. Those ones ain't going to rug you. They're not going to scam you. Of course, the bigger opportunities are the higher risk, right? Which means the ones that have just launched on some platform, they will potentially give you the higher reward, like 100x, but they also would potentially take all your money as well. So just be cautious about that. That's the only advice I can give to you. If you cannot afford to lose $100, don't even bother buying it. Do you know what I mean? If you can lose it, yeah, go and trade $100. That's all I can say. I can't give you any financial advice on that. So those are the ones that I wanted to talk about today. Of course, there is a coin that I have mentioned to everybody. So guys, keep an eye on that, AIXBT. That's one that I am kind of thinking about myself. And there is a target. I'm almost at my target. So earlier on when I spoke about it, it was at 55 cents. I did say that if it goes to around 50 cents, I will consider buying, but a very small amount. If it goes to 50 cents, currently it's at 51 cents. So almost close to my area. So I do have a buy order set up with a bot to buy it at that price. However, I will buy a larger quantity if it goes to around 38 cents. That's my entry point. So that's when I would buy a larger quantity and see where it go from there. So other than that, I've done my part. Now we can get into the comments. I will start reading the comments and see what everybody's been talking about. So I wanted to kind of create these in segments. So those of you guys who wanted the market stuff, hope you got it. The whole subject that we initiated this video for, you got it. Now we're going to do all the community stuff, and then at the end I'll do some kind of other stuff that I want to talk about. So I hope this kind of works, and once we do it a few times, we'll fall into a routine, and then I think it will be really nice. Because I know this is a live stream. A lot of people don't expect this, right? Especially people do this kind of stuff on Facebook and whatnot. So we're doing it on YouTube, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't do this. So Bubble says, hey, my brother, nice to see you, my brother. Roach says, who lets the bulls out? Let's fucking go. We bought the dip. Yes, my brother. You know that, brother. You know that. Jaffa, nice to see you. Roach says, I'm selling in May, then going away. Where you going away, brother? You can't go away. German Dog says, so buying time. Buying time was when we were red, bro. We were excited. When we were bloody, when we were at 92K, we were excited. Me, Roach, we love the reds. We are the big fans of reds. We don't like green. We sell on the green. So that's what it is. Jaffa says, I need to sell half of my alts before the end of March, personal reasons. So hopefully there's some good gains before then. I hope to as well, brother. Now, for me, about 2-3 months ago, about 2-3 months ago, I can't remember exactly, by the way. I actually, when I saw we entered the bull market, because I bought the red, right? So as we entered the bull market, there was a few losses as well, so I kind of doubled down. So there was, like, for example, I invested 10K into something and it became 1K, right? But then later on, I put another 1K, so I had now close, like equivalent to 20K's worth, but obviously I've only paid like 11K for it. So when it pumped, right, and when I got back to my recovery zone, the first thing I did was take my initial out, right? And then if I had some profits, I left that there. So I kind of played it differently. So I kind of hedged myself. I said, right, these ones have a potential. I need to double down on them, recover my losses as soon as possible. So I did all of those things. And then what happened was 2, 3 months ago, I started to sell them off because I had too many, because I bought too many. So, look, when you got like 100 different coins, it's hard. So I'm just being logical. I said, you know what? I can't afford to do that, right? Because I won't be able to control myself. I won't be able to control all the platforms that I need to if the market goes south, right? Because we're at the beginning of the end, which is something I've been talking about. So for me, the first thing I did was that, okay, these coins are not the greatest performers, right? And they, I'm kind of in a loss, but I've recovered elsewhere. Am I balanced out? I'm balanced out. Am I in profit? I'm in profit. So I might as well start letting these go and then find something else. But I also need the cash in order to buy some of these great dips. So what I did was I kind of, instead of diversifying myself over 100 different coins, I kind of took my pool and I said, I'm going to reduce it down to maybe 10, 15, 20 coins. And that's what I've done. So I've kind of reduced it down to about 20 coins. So from those 20 coins, of course, if I see something significant, then I'm selling it out. So recently, I think it was last month, it was last month, yeah, we had a dump and I was predicting that dump to come. And I said, I'm gonna have a stop loss and I'm gonna get stopped out. And I did, I got stopped out. So then I went back in again, right? And I accumulated a few more coins, but with only 50%. And I kept the 50% cash just in case something happens. And that gave me much more room to move around because I didn't need to bring fresh cash. You know what I mean? So kind of use that to kind of move into the market again. And so I'm really happy because now I'm technically all in. So, but I have more coins than I had before, if that makes any sense, right? So I have more coins than I had before, and I'm happy with that. And hopefully I'm going to play the game all over again. Do you know what I mean? And I do hope for you as well that yeah, you do perform well. And if you do have alts, it's never a bad idea to start selling the greens and getting out, because you are in a better position, right? In a bull market, you are in a better position to actually cash out when you can with profit, so that you're prepared for the bear market, because then you're going to buy more. Do you know what I mean? And you rinse and repeat and you carry on. So that's the strategy a lot of people kind of miss out, because they're hoping that it's going to go higher. It's going to go higher. It is going to go higher. But if it dips, stop out and buy the dip and accumulate more, right? But play with the stop loss, because that's how you're going to protect yourself. That's the most important thing. Ducator, my brother's here. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere. Yes, buy, always buy. No matter the price, Bitcoin is about to be reserve currency. That's one sat, one USD. 100%, my brother, 100%. And that's what I always tell people. I say, look, guys, you got to understand what you're in it for, right? And I mentioned it yesterday as well. If you're looking at it in the fiat value, right, then for you, obviously, you're looking at this in a fiat sense, like you're in it to make the money. Oh, yeah, fine, make your money, get out, no problem, right? That's okay. Most of the time, when I look at BTC in a fiat value, like, okay, I'm going to buy 0.1 BTC, right? And my 0.1 BTC is going to make me, and listen to this, right? My 0.1 BTC is going to make me $50,000. You're going to say, oh, what the hell, hold on. How can 0.5 BTC, sorry, 0.1 BTC be $50,000? Well, like, it can be if I'm going to leverage it. To me, I'm doing it to make money. So when I'm trading, like doing a leverage trade with BTC, that has nothing to do with me accumulating more BTC. No interest at all. That's for me to quickly make some more money. It's a high risk, it's a gamble that I'm taking to make more money so that I can buy more BTC. Of course, then I can convert it or do whatever. But that's just to accumulate more cash. However, with normal BTC, right, all I'm doing is just saving. So any profits I make, I always keep a certain amount of my profit and I diversify. I put some, like half of it, always half anyway, into BTC and then the rest into other stuff. And then I'll trade the remainder back again, right? So I always do this with my profit money. So technically, BTC doesn't owe me anything. All the BTC that I have doesn't owe me anything. And any trades that I do, that's basically cash based as well. And also, like, I do, and I don't mean to plug anything here, but some of the work I do, some of the consulting work and this and that I do, I actually prefer, so I'd say to my clients, look, you can pay me whatever you want in whatever currency you want. That's not an issue. However, I do prefer crypto, and a lot of them, like 90% of them, actually end up paying in crypto. So that also goes into a stash. It just stays there. So that's how it is. So um Bohra Sagar 19. Wow, okay. Bohra says, what coins are you selling? I'm not selling anything right now. We just bought the dip, bro. I dumped most of my alts anyway. I can't even remember all the names of it. I'm one of those. I don't get married to the coin. I don't get married to the coin. You know what I mean? So Bitcoin, I'm not married to it, right? I don't care if it goes to zero. I don't care if it goes to $1 million, but I treat it as my savings account, as my retirement fund. So I don't look at how much it's worth, and I don't look at how many I've got. For me, I just, any money I make in trading and doing all sorts of other activities that I do in crypto, like consulting and this and that I do, I literally just leave it there. You know what I mean? And in fact, whatever I receive, I leave that. So if someone decides to pay me in some shitcoin that I don't even know about, well, guess what? It's still there. Do you know what I mean? And I have received, like, there has been occasion where someone's turned around and says, "Would you accept this?" I was like, "Yeah, by all means, yeah, no worries." If you have it and you value it, then yeah, by all means. I haven't sold it; it's still there. You know what I mean? Um, there was a meme coin. Someone recently paid me with a meme coin, so they paid me $300 in meme coin, and I said, "Yeah, leave it." It's a Solana meme coin. So I said, "Yeah, leave it." So, yeah, fine. If you believe in that, you think that's the one you want to hold, then by all means. To me, it has no. So for me, when I charge people, I do it out of principle. It's complete principle. It's not because I need your money or I got to pay my bill. For that, I actually do real work. You know what I mean? Because if I'm going to pay something in fiat, I'm going to use fiat because you want to use garbage money. What do you want to use crypto for? Crypto is opportunity money. That's a different story. So that's what it is. Jaffa says, "Do you think Trump will announce the Bitcoin reserve this month?" I don't think he's going to reserve. He's going to announce. He's going to announce something. Let's put it this way: he's going to announce something, but for him to turn around and say make Bitcoin as the reserve currency, there's a little bit more politics behind that. It's not so simple, right? It's not so simple, because the state and the money, the state in America, or most countries as well, actually, the state is separate to the bank. The state is not the bank. It's like the church is separate to the bank, to the state. Similar way. So you have religion, politics, and finance. They are all three separate entities. So it's not so simple just to announce something. Talking about it is one thing, but actually doing it is a whole different story. You know, like they have gold, for example. They, reserve currency right now is US dollar, right, globally. But they also have gold. So similar way, they could hold BTC as a partial reserve, but it's not going to be an entirely reserve, because that will cause a bit of an issue globally, where then they will say, hold on, well, why are we holding your, most other countries, right? Because everyone holds each other's currency. They will say, well, hold on, why, if you're holding BTC as your reserve because you own more of it, why are we holding your US dollars? So people might start dumping it. That might start completely collapsing the US dollars. So think about it in that sense. So don't get too excited because of what he's saying or what people are talking about. It's all great. We are all excited. It's good news, but you have to understand the politics behind it as well. And it's not as simple as you think it is. And the consequences of him declaring that could be really, really bad. But if they say we're going to have a partial reserve, it's fine because they do hold gold as a partial reserve as well. But it's just another structure. What happens is the amount of gold in the vault, for example, or amount of BTC in the cold storage, is just another hedge asset. Let's just say it that way. So it's not, you can't do that entire thing, because if you do, it will crash the US dollar completely. So if it's bad right now, it will be worse. It will be worthless, complete worthless. People won't even wipe their bums with that because it's just going to be worthless. I'm telling you. So you got to look at it that way. Politics is very important. So I hope that kind of makes sense, Jaffa. All right. G-Shock says, if we get the candle close, do we need a big amount of retail to come back into the market to continue the momentum? Seems like the retail kind of took off for a bit. Yes and no. So you see the market, the market's quite a funny thing, right? Now, these candle movements, of course, we know that there are big whales. So G-Shock, we know that big whales, big institutions are buying Bitcoin literally every other day. We know that because they're announcing it. They're making it public. And if they make it public, that means that they can't just lie about it, because the governments will also know about it, because they, there's a way of not paying taxes and making expenses and whatnot. So there's a legal implication to that as well. So when companies are actually buying these, they're not actually pumping the price, right? Because what they do, they buy OTC. So it's like G-Shock, you send me one BTC, or I say send you 10 BTC. Well, that doesn't show up on the network as a buy and a sell. It just shows up as a transfer. So we can validate that and say, yeah, there was a transfer. But transfer is not a buy. A buy is when you use the other currency to say, I paid 100 grand for a BTC. So what happens is a lot of this is happening on the exchanges, right? So on the exchanges, say for example, we have currently, just theoretically, we have 1,000 BTC available for people to buy and sell. Fine. Then you have your market makers and you have your market takers, right? Now, the market makers, if they decide, say, okay, fine, right? There's two market makers. There's a buyer market maker and a seller market maker. So a seller says, I am willing to sell my BTC. I am willing to sell my BTC, and he might only have 0.01% or whatever. It doesn't matter how many he has, but he says, I am willing to sell my BTC right now. So say, for example, it's 97,500. He said, I am willing to sell for $98,000. So $500 more. Another maker who's a buyer comes and says, I'm willing to pay that. All of a sudden now that becomes the market price. So that's how you kind of control the price. But if somebody says, I want to sell for $98,000 and no one's buying, and somebody else, a taker comes along, or a different maker comes along and says, actually no, I'm going to pay you $97,000, and he's offering $500 less, well, that could impact the price, because that's what's reflected in the candle patterns. So if that kind of makes sense. Now, a lot of these massive institutions and this and that, they will act like retail, because they know that even if there's 1,000 BTC available for people to buy, they only have to trade 1 or 2 BTC in order for that price to show, reflect all over the entire network. You see what I mean? So the network effect is hilarious, right? It doesn't need thousands of people buying. Of course, that will add the volume. So millions of dollars of volume being added because of that. But it only takes 1 or 2 people, or a handful of people, to actually push it towards a particular way, if that makes sense. So that's how the whole structure works. But yes, retail, I think retail are still buying, but they're not buying as much. Because most retail people, what you have to understand, they're kind of priced out. So no one's going to buy an entire BTC. If they're buying, they're just buying Satoshis. You know what I mean? So it is tough. And most people are finding it hard already because of the global situation that we have now with the cost of living and all sorts of other stuff. Like there was this report, I can't remember who said it. I think it was something Kennedy, the one that was for the, he kind of wanted to be the president candidate. I think he said it. There was an interview. He said it, or something. I can't remember exactly. And he said something about how an average American earns $5,000 less than what they have to pay in bills, and that's already them being priced out as well. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same story in, for example, most countries. Because if you're in the low income bracket, nothing changes for you, because you still pay the same energy costs, same insurance costs, same car costs, whatever. Your outgoings are exactly the same as everybody else. A millionaire doesn't pay less money than you. They pay the exact same money for energy costs as you. You know what I mean? They don't get a better deal. They might get better deals on credit, right? So someone who's rich, who's got a big bank balance, they will get better deals on credit, right? Someone who's got low income, they will get the worst deals. That's how the system works. So the banking system is rigged, right? However, when it comes to cost of living, it's the same for everybody. Yeah, you might choose to go and spend somewhere else, but mostly all groceries is the same. Sainsbury's doesn't have a different price for you and me. It's the same price, or Tesco's or Walmart, or whatever you want to call it, but it's the same price. So that's what you got to look at, and that's the reality. That's one of the reasons why most people are just priced out. And but yeah, retail are still buying. As far as I know, they are still buying, but not as much as they could before. Hence why a lot of people are now in that gambling mentality. and people are looking for opportunities, like 100x opportunity in meme coins and altcoins, because that's what the narrative is. And of course, that narrative comes from places like Instagram and TikTok, because there are loads of promoters out there, basically people who are trying to hype it and bring people to their, like, make more audience, get more subscribers. They're hyping it big time, and they're saying, oh, look, guys, we're doing this is going to go to 100x and this and that. So they're growing their followers through that, but they're hyping the wrong things, which is something I can't do, but that's what they're doing. So it is quite tough. I see Faisal here. Salam, my brother. Nice to see you. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Ducator says, I think this month would be too crazy of a move. I think Trump will buy 1 million BTC over 1 to 2 years, then set the reserve in parity. Possibly, but they do hold quite a significant amount already. The government already holds a significant amount that's seized and whatnot from, Alpha Bay and whatnot, right? So they do hold quite a bit of BTC. In fact, I remember 2017 or 2018, they sold some, and recently I think they announced they want to sell some more as well. So the government sells every now and then. Recently, as in, like, when they did the infrastructure bill, they talked about selling a whole bunch of BTC. So they do that. They hold quite a significant amount. A lot of people don't know they do hold a significant amount. But yeah, whether they buy 1 million BTC or not, we'll see about it, because what you got to understand is there's only 6% remaining to be mined. 6% remaining to be mined, right, of the total supply. So out of the total 21 million coins, there's only 6%. Somebody do the maths. Someone do the maths. So is there 1 million available for them to buy? Because when we look at the on-chain exchange balance, highest peak we see is about 2,000 Bitcoin floating around. So if they are planning to buy, where are they going to buy from? And if they want to buy 1 million coin, for example, where are they going to get it from? Unless they completely stop these Bitcoins, the miners, from sending it to the exchange, and they just buy it directly from the exchange. So there are some logical problems as well we need to see. So from what I see, and I'm being logical here, I'm saying, you know what? They already have 1 million coins. They're not looking to buy the new ones. They're going to allow those to come to the market. But it's because look, think about it this way. We get, I think, 3.25 or something stupid, something silly, right, every 10 minutes. So there's not enough there for them to grab even from the miners, right? Unless they do some sort of a sanction or some sort of embargo or something, and say, you got to give it to us. We'll pay you whatever. We'll pay you double the money. You got to give it to us. That's the only way they can accumulate. But even then, it will be tough. It will be tough. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that, from what I think, they already got it. They're just going to announce it. That's it. That's what I think anyway. So Desi tracks here. All good in the hood, Faisal. Okay, all good, all good. Ducator says retail is being priced out of Bitcoin. The number of people will have to increase. Those who are in are in. We need new eyes. We need to encourage BTC use. BTC use, I believe 2025 is quite strong. So I did kind of talk about it on another video as well. So 2025 is quite strong because there's a whole bunch of blockchains, Cardano, Multiverse X, Ripple, Flare Network. Who else? Algorand, and a few others, right? So they're kind of forming this consortium. Let's just call it a consortium, like some sort of a group, right? So this is happening very soon. And what they're trying to do is bring actual smart contract. Also, one of the most popular DeFi project is known as Orange, right? The crypto is called ORNJ. Check it out. Currently trading around 10 cents or 8 cents or 10 cents. But Orange is another company that's trying to bring DeFi onto Bitcoin. So that use case, so people will start using it, right? And that will create more scarcity, obviously, and more demand. That's coming very soon. And all of those companies that I mentioned, or institutions or cryptocurrencies, centralized cryptocurrency institutions, they are trying to bring smart contract functionality and cross-chain compatibility with BTC. So unlike currently that we have a bridge mechanism, bridging is BS, right? So when you bridge it, it's just fake BTC. But they're trying to do it with the real BTC. Do you see what I mean? So that's coming very soon as well. I think when that news comes out, it will be very big for BTC, because most of those centralized companies, they're not trying to do it for, like, they're not trying to make BTC DeFi, let's call it Bitcoin DeFi, for the average Joe, because most average Joes have been priced out. They're trying to create that for the institution, so the institutions can actually gamble on chain. So that's what they're trying to do. That's where the money's going to come in from. And of course, those who are already in, you know, $100 worth, $200 worth, $1,000 worth, whatever you can afford, those who are already in, they are going to benefit from that. So hence why I say, look, when you buy BTC, don't think of it as, oh, I'm going to make money. If you're trading it, that's a different story, right? Like, no, leverage trading. Okay, you're in it for the money. That's fine. I'm in it for the money. I'm in it for the money. But when I'm putting it into BTC, into a wallet, locked into a wallet, never going to an exchange, that's there for another purpose, because the future is bright and the future is going to be very, very interesting, especially 2025. Let's see what happens. I mean, I'm going to wait until the end of 2025, because of course some of these projects are working on it. They've been working on it for many years, by the way. They just didn't announce it, but now they're feeling a lot more confident. Soon you're going to start seeing all the hype, and the hype usually is going to come right at the end of the Bitcoin bull market. Right at the end of the bull market. So when the whole hype phase is to the highest point, the complete parabola, that's when they're going to pull the plug as well, right? Because that's when they want to cash out on the profits that they made. So that's usually what happens. Guys, if you're here for the first time, my name is Sham. This is 0x5. The truth is always out there. We do community engagements on a live stream. You're welcome to ask any questions, no problem. If I know the answer, I will answer it. So ask me anything, not an issue. Of course, nothing too personal. And if there is something I can't talk about, I won't talk about it. I'm pretty transparent about that. Do consider subscribing, smash that like button, share with one another. Let's grow the community. But I can assure you, there is not another YouTube channel like this. Right? You won't find another one. Ducator says, I used to go to Walmart and fill up my car, then go through checkout with the cashier. When time to pay, I said I only had Bitcoin, take it or put this all back, just to force a talk about BTC. Okay, that works. So for me, I used to do it quite differently. So I used to just randomly just talk to people, and like some people, like, you know, people are curious. It's like, oh, what do you do? Or what do you for a living, and this and that. So somebody turn around in like some party or something and turn around, oh, so what do you do for a living? Now, obviously, when I didn't do crypto, I used to tell them what I used to do, and then all of a sudden I changed. I said, "Oh, I do crypto," and they're like, "What, Bitcoin?" And I'll be like, "Yeah," you know. And you just realize that they don't know about anything else. And I'm like, "Have you heard of it?" They're like, "Yeah, we heard about it. It was on the news and this and that, or someone was talking about it on a radio show and this and that." Do you own any? They're like, "No, we don't know anything about it. You know, we heard it's a scam." That's what most people used to say. I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, then if you want 5 minutes, and I'll tell you in 5 minutes, and hopefully make some sense to you that even if it is a scam, the potential for you to make a lot of money is higher. So how do you want to do this?" So I kind of explained to people, and that's how I've converted quite a few people through that, because I had to make them understand what it is. I said, look, if it is a scam, then how come I'm actually able to spend it from my exchange through my debit card? Because I had a crypto debit card. So I'm like, how am I spending that? And then you see light bulbs, like the face lights up, and they're like, oh, okay. I said, yeah. If it's dodgy, then why is Visa allowing me to spend my BTC right now? How come I can take that same Visa card, go to a cash machine, and take money out? That shouldn't be possible, right? If it's dodgy. And they're like, oh. I said, yeah. And I've did a lot of live testing as well to show people, and yeah, I've converted a lot of people, you know, and they do thank me. Even now, they do thank me because of that. So that's what that is. Jaffa says, hit the like, guys. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. KR, nice to see you. Where you been, man? KR's been missing off the lives for some time now. Jaffa says, is there a way to see how much BTC is held by exchanges? Hopefully it's under 1 million. Oh, yes, there is a way to see it. So if you go and use CoinGlass, or what's the other one? I used to use another one as well. CoinGlass is quite good. CoinGlass, they have an app, and if you use the app, you can just say balance on exchanges, and it will show you every single major exchanges that the balance is there. Of course, the riffraffs, you know, the one with the 1 or 2 BTC, they won't show them, but they will show all the other exchanges, because all exchanges actually do have an open ledger. for transparency and to show their customers that how many they have on balance as well. So have a look at that. That should be interesting. CoinGlass, that's the app I would recommend. Okay. Of course, I could plug it. I could, but no, there's no links, none of that business. CoinGlass, go to App Store or Play Store and just search CoinGlass, one word, and they have a great app. That's the one I use. So use that. Duke says RFK Jr. Yes, that's it. That's it. Yeah, he mentioned something, and you know, it was a fascinating interview. That I watched, and it opens up your eyes. And you know, for me, I feel for people. I'm like, look at this. These are the governments that we vote in. These are the governments who we give power to. Or I don't vote for them, so I don't. But most people vote for. In order to find security and have a better life, right? These are the people who make the promises to make it better for everybody. And yet people are suffering, you know, with cost of living. And so what's the government done about that other than lining their own pockets, other than going out there spending money on, you know, black budgets and more military defense, apparently, right? What about the people? You know what I mean? So it takes me somewhere else, man, honestly. UK says only 6% left. Do the math. 1 million BTC from Trump. The rest coins, thus forecasting their intentions to make the parity. I love it. I'm gonna buy all of Germany and live in castle. My brother. Well, listen. If you do buy a castle, bro, keep a nice little room for me, okay? So I'm demanding that of you. If you buy a freaking castle, buy all of Germany. Don't worry, you keep Germany. Just allow me to travel freely without any issues, and maybe drop me a few Mercedes here and there. But if you got a castle, I want a room in your castle, my brother. Permanent room in your castle. So yeah, GK says, man, you're lucky because everyone I meet and talk to, they always insult me saying they had Bitcoin long ago but sold it if they or they heard of it but didn't trust it. At least you got people willing to learn. Yeah, no, you know what it is? It's not everybody. Obviously, it's not everybody. There are, I would say, about 10% of the people that I've met, and I'm talking about in my journey, last 9 years, right? I've met thousands of people, thousands, right? And I'm a public facing person, so I meet a lot of people in loads of different environments, right? And out of the thousands of people that I've met, I would say about 10% still do not hold any BTC. They don't hold any BTC. They never decided to, or didn't even bother giving me the time. However, 90%, even if they didn't buy it initially in the beginning, they came back later on. So that's how I also got busy. And that's funny thing is that's how this channel started. This YouTube channel started because of that. The amount of people that were calling me, the amount of people that were trying to basically, you know, get advice of me. How do I create? They came to me like, how do I create a wallet? How do I buy Bitcoin? So many questions, right? So because of that, I said, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And this is how this channel started. I'm not joking. This channel started because of that. So I was okay. Listen, I was living my life under the cover, you know, just a normal guy. Nobody needs to know. And I kind of planted my seeds, and I said to everybody, I said, guys, so a lot of people used to say, what do you do? And at that time, so being transparent, at that time, I used to be an OTC trader before the official OTCs came out. So I used to buy and sell a lot of BTC over the counter. So that was my business basically most of the time. So, you know, and people thought it's all dodgy, right? Oh, fine, whatever you say, you know, but here's my BTC that I'm spending. So as an OTC trader, buying, selling every day, I was like, I believe in it. Look at me, how much money I'm buying with. Because I'm not talking about people, and I'm talking, put it this way, when BTC was $200-300 a coin, even $400-500 a coin, some of the people that would come and buy OTC, right? Cash, debit card, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? I'm not going to say what anyway. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. How I did the OTC, I was going to say that, but I didn't break any rules, right? So when we did the OTC, people were buying 40,000-50,000 pounds worth at a time. You know, some days you have 5-6 clients coming over buying about 250,000-300,000 pounds worth. So it was crazy, and this is during the time when it was only a few $100s. So that's what I used to do back in the days. And of course, I had a little margin there, so I had a commission there, and that commission I used to keep in BTC anyway. So that was my main business, during that time. So the word spread pretty much, and I got to meet, as I said, loads of people, and then a lot more people when they came to me. But one thing I did compared to all others, I never gave anybody BTC for free, never. And whenever people came to me knowing what I do, they said, "Oh, can you sell it to me?" I said, "No. Unless you already know about Bitcoin, unless you already have all of this information, I'm not going to give it to you," right? Anybody, friends, family, and other people, associates, and people I got to meet, I always help them set up their own account. And I said, "You buy. I want you to experience this. Go to Coinbase." So Coinbase referral, believe me, I've made a lot of $10 from Coinbase referrals, right? Because they used to do, like, if you deposit $100, they used to give $10. So I've made a lot of $10 BTC from that. I'm being honest with you, because of my referrals. So I used to refer a whole bunch of people to Coinbase, and I used to say, just go to Coinbase and buy your first amount, whatever you want to buy, $50, $10, doesn't matter. I'm not in it for the commission, but you can buy, right? And see where it takes you. So that's what I did for people. I made them experience it, and a lot of those people who experienced it, like after they understood it, they didn't sell. They still held it, and then later on I find out that they've topped up and they bought more. So that's quite good. There was this one brother, he originally started with £50, so he put £50 in, and then recently I spoke to him, and this is so 2018, he put £50, and then I recently spoke to him. He said to me that his total investment was about £4,000, and that was by 2020, 2020, £4,000. So obviously during the pump he didn't dump, during the dip he didn't buy anymore, and he's regretting because he was thinking about buying some more in 2022. He just didn't buy for whatever reason, and he's regretting because if he did, then he calculated that he would have been, so in 2022 he would have been able to buy half a BTC for the amount of money he was thinking of investing. If he did, then he would have had like £40,000 or something right now, if not £50,000. So that's all he's regretting. But he's like called me and he's like, "What do I do?" I said, "Don't worry about it. It's okay. It'll come back. Don't worry. It will come back." So Jaffa says, "Gotta go." Okay, my brother, nice to see you. Please do come by anytime. Do subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we do pretty much a daily live stream every day. So, and we have a Discord community as well. You're welcome to join that as well. That's where I pretty much ask the community, "Guys, what would you like me to talk about?" And I share the thumbnail before I come online anyway. So that's pretty much my communication line. So you're welcome to meet me there anytime. Ducator says, once you got to 0.01, that is enough for most people to afford to quit their job. If used correctly, that 0.1 should return you 0.1 worth per year. Yeah, pretty much. It depends on how they see it. You know what I mean? Because remember, you and I, right, we want to accumulate more BTC. So we're not looking at the monetary value. For us, 1 BTC, 1 BTC, 0.1 BTC, 0.1 BTC. So if we buy the bottom, sell the top, accumulate more, when it goes back to the bottom, we can always increase our holdings that way. But a lot of people see the monetary value, hence why they'll probably cash out. It's like, "Oh, I put $1,000 in and I just made $10,000, and now I'm going on a holiday. Come back from the holiday, spent all your money. Now there's not even $1,000. You know what I mean?" So that's a reality with most people. So Duke says, "I know that does not work in yours mind now. After party it will." He says wrong number. 0.1 BTC. Yes, my brother. Yes, my brother. Sad reality, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Guys, if you have any other questions, please do fire away. I'm here. I'll answer what I can. All right. And also, I'm going to talk about a few things here as well today as well. So I'll probably drop it now, actually. While, if you have any questions, do fire away. But I want to talk about something. So most of the guys on the Discord community, and some guys, I think Faisal, if you're still here. So Faisal did one day mention something on a live stream, and he said, "Can you talk about it?" So I did kind of briefly talk about it, and I've kind of been working in the background, right? So I've been kind of busy with that. Do you use Taproot DLCs? Remind me what DLCS is again, because my mind is blank right now. Taproot, yeah, I do use the network just to buy, sell, send, if that makes sense. But I don't. The only other thing I did was you know, the inscriptions. So I have my own batch of inscriptions on the. Oh no, I don't. No, I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't do any of that. I know that's there, but I don't use any of that. No, I don't. As I said, inscription is something that I have done. I do have my own set of inscriptions there. Whether people buy it or not, it's a whole different story. Yes, Taproot did have that, but I don't use it, to be honest. I know I'm an open book. Believe me, you know, when I talk about decentralization, this is quite funny. So everything I do, fully KYC, full AML, right? You know, banking, this, that, whatever, right? Accounting, you name it, everything fully doxed, as doxed as it gets, right? So hence why I could sit here talk about millions of dollars without any issue, because I'm fully doxed. All the payments, everything that has to be done has been done. But when it comes to decentralization, my point of view is that, guys, we don't want everybody to take control of us, because we're doing what we need to do the right thing as a citizen of a country, right? And in fact, I'm not only a citizen, I'm from here. Do you know what I mean? So this is my country as far as I'm concerned, right? Whether the British government thinks of me as a British or not, it's a different story. But I do consider it as well as a British. Do you know what I mean? I'm third generation here. So it gets a bit weird, right? But the point is look, end of the day, I consider this is about my country. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I do everything the right way. When I talk about decentralized, I'm like, look, guys, we need our financial freedom as well, because we are doing everything to increase our wealth. But it seems like the more wealth we make, we end up giving half of it away. And okay, fine, we'll give half of it away, but also give us the opportunity to better ourselves, to buy a house, buy this, do whatever, be better at life. Because the more you earn, of course, when you end up paying 20-30% later on, it will be a bigger sum. But give the opportunity for people to grow. And certain rules used to favor us, where it's like, okay, you can go and you can make a whole ton of money, but you don't have to pay tax unless you come back into the fiat. So people milk that system, and people are still doing it. You can do it, still do it in fiat. But in crypto, they've changed the rules so much now that it actually impacts everybody. Hence why people now are saying, you know what, I lost my seed phrase. I lost my wallet. Because what else are they going to do? Do you know what I mean? But of course, that's not going to be, oh, you're not going to get away with it, because maybe in 5 years' time, in a decade's time, they're going to catch up to you with all the CBDCs that they're going to bring, and they're going to start tracking people. So even then, when you come out, there will be a million questions. Globally, it will happen, right? When it does. So it will be harder when you exit. But the point is right now, it's like, I just want to increase my wealth. Do you know what I mean? So whatever way I need to do it, I need to do that. So yeah, most of those DeFi functions and all the DLCs and this and that, I don't use, to be honest. I'm not that deep into it, right? You know, for me, get in, make the money, right? Whatever makes me the money, make the money. When I made the money, I got to put half my profit into BTC, stash that BTC away, never look back, right? And then do the game all over again. Because again, when I'm making money in crypto, I don't do it for any personal use. So not to pay my bill, none of that business. None of that business, right? For that, I do a normal job and I earn fiat. Fiat pays the fiat bills, if that makes sense, right? Crypto, that goes into a saving, and also any excess that I make from crypto, I actually reinvest it into crypto, for example, projects and whatnot, and other stuff that I do. So kind of reinvesting in my life, if that makes sense. So yeah, and that's what I was going to talk about here right now. So basically, look, there's something that I've been kind of briefly hinting and talking about. So I think I talked to you as well, Ducator, yesterday or day before yesterday, and I said, look, I want to do a real world project, and a real world project necessarily doesn't have to have any crypto. So I've kind of been looking deep into that, and there are parts of it. What is your new coin investment principles? Okay, I'll talk about it, right? But anyway, let's talk about what I was saying right now. So there are parts of it that I'm kind of already doing, right? For example, when I wanted to test out the theory of what we were going to do, so I already partnered up with a whole bunch of people and I tested it out, piloted it out, worked well. I want to make it public. And then I realized that, hold on, there are parts of it that I'm actually doing separately. So for example, how I want the company to be like an investment hub, right? So kind of like an investment hub. I want to do that. And, you know, it also has like individual things as well. So I looked at all of those things and I said, like, you know what? I'm asking myself, I was like, okay, what are the things that I'm already doing and what are the things the company wants to do? And I realized it pretty much falls in line. So I've been thinking about it. I said, you know what? I might actually drop a website, publish the idea. So not going to do anything. So the website's not going to collect any funds or anything like that, not even an email. But I think I need to get the message out there so a lot of people can actually read about this. Rather than me talking about it on a video, I think I need to create a website. And on the website, it will have all the information so I can understand, is there a demand for it? Because for me, the way things work, look, if there's no demand, then I don't really want to launch anything, right? Because say for example I have a product, right, is a viable product, right? Okay, I'm like, okay, I can launch this, let's test out the people, test out the waters. I could do that, but I don't know if there's interest for it. So I want to test out if there's an interest for it. So I hope that you guys, when I do this, when I launch the website and put all the information on the website, like what it's about and what we're aiming to do, I think from that point, I will get more better understanding. So that's what I just wanted to tell you guys. So soon you might hear me talk about a particular product, right? When I talk about the product, I might describe it here a little bit, but mostly I will point you guys to the description or the link and I'll say, go and check it out. So I hope you guys appreciate that and go and check it out, because I really need some feedback, honestly, guys. If I'm going to do this, I need some feedback, and then of course from that point I will understand that, okay, should I involve a crypto with it or should I just go normal? Because for me so far it's always been going normal, right? But crypto is what I like, so I just wanted to do something that way that gives a little bonus to people. So that's that. So Duke says, what is your new coin investment principle? So whenever I'm buying a new coin, most of the time I look at the team, obviously, but I don't really care too much about the team, to be honest. What I care about is how much money is being invested in marketing. So a lot of those projects, and of course nobody's going to ever know how much they spent, but you can easily tell how much they spent. If you start looking at Reddit, Instagram, and this and that, and YouTube and all of that, and you start seeing so many different influencers who always do paid stuff start talking about this project, you realize that they're marketing it. So when you see a massive hype behind that coin and it's launching, and of course they're on the papers and all of that stuff, right? When you start noticing that, Twitters and whatnot, it makes sense. Like, okay, these guys have a big budget. If they have a big budget, we want to be behind them. So I'm not talking about small stuff. So for example, a good example is when Sui launched. It was well hyped, right? Sui, very well hyped. Say, very well hyped, right? In fact, right now, Virtuals, very well hyped. Bonk, very well hyped. You see what I mean? So when they're hyped that much, and there's a lot of funding, and there's a massive institution behind it, and venture capital funds and whatnot behind them, for me, that's centralized, obviously, so it's not decentralized. However, it also tells me that millions of dollars are being put into this, and I want to be on that because that's where the money's going to go, right? Now, it doesn't guarantee a return, obviously, right? So it's a risk that we have to take. So I obviously invest what I could afford to lose, but they actually give me a better return. So those are the ones that I bet on. However, if they are partnered with the centralized exchange, then I do not buy the coin on a pre-sale, right? Pre-sale as in like, okay, if it's a 10-cent coin, yeah, I'll buy it. But if it launches on an exchange and I haven't bought the pre-sale, then what I do on the exchange, the day it launches, I don't buy. I usually buy 24 hours later, even to 7 days, up to 7 days later, right? Because originally, whenever it launches on an exchange, they will have a massive dump, right? All the pre-sale holders will dump. So I wait for that usually. And of course, there are gems out there. Not all of the coins do that. There are some gems out there who launch and then the second day, they just don't dump. Right, they just don't dump because the hype is so high. They just don't dump, and usually those ones you'll find that most of the the pre-sale holders or the pre-investors, they don't hold a significant amount. They hold maybe about 4 or 5% of the total supply. And when you look at that, that's for me, that's much more positive as well. So that one I would buy in a green candle, knowing it's going to go up. You know what I mean? So for example, AIXBT, I mentioned earlier on, that AI agent. Yes, it's an AI agent, but there's a lot of institutional interest behind that, right? There's another one called AI16Z, right? AI16Z is another AI agent. There's a lot of institutional backing on that, and a lot of interest as well. For example, it's already on Forbes newspaper, right, or article, the magazine. So think about that, right? When they've gone over there, you know their involvement, you know what's going on. So somebody's got a big stash and they want to pump it as high as possible. So I know there's going to be money to be made there. So I want to make that money there. Of course, I want to trade with the stop loss, so that's a different story. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Ducator says you have to raise funds for advertising, focus on CMC, CoinGecko, etc., and gain attention. There was an altcoin, I remember doing that, did crypto advertising. Okay, well, let me know, because I know what you're talking about, like my project, right? So no, with my project, CMC, CoinGecko, all of those were really good, by the way. Back in the days, they used to be really good, right? But because now there's so much demand, they literally want, they say, oh, we don't charge you, we won't charge you, you can list your coin with us, but actually they don't, because there's thousands and thousands of coins going for the thing. So they say, look, if you want priority, you got to pay us XYZ. So I remember the charges back in the days was between anything between $1,000 to about $8,000 under the table, right? He paid them. Now it's gone up, right? Also, exchange listing back in the days, if there was a good promising project, and even now there is, by the way, but good promising project, then exchange would list it, right? But now exchanges like, you got to pay this much to list it. Do you know what I mean? So it's, yeah, it's all scammy. Everyone's getting all scammy right now. But I'm not too concerned about the exchange listing right now, or the thing. I want to see how much demand there is. I want to test the waters and see if people are interested. So if I just have a landing page, for example, and people come to the website, view it, and other people share and this and that, that will give me a rough idea if people are interested. Maybe I'll even put a email notification there, like, okay, subscribe to the email list if you want to be notified. Maybe that will give me another, but I just want to kind of understand, you know what I mean? Do people have an interest for that kind of a thing? And if I bring it into crypto, would people be really interested? So those are, it's like a questionnaire, nothing more. It's like, okay, are you going to be interested in this? So that's how I look at it. Ducator says, got to go. Thank you, my brother. Nice to see you as well. Yeah, I'm not going to be here too long. It's already been an hour right now. But yeah, if you have any information or anything, do let me know. That would be quite cool. Because look, you know, it's a project that I've been working on quite a bit. I've already done the testing. And I think it's currently, I think if I'm brave enough, I could actually do an MVP and see where it goes. So definitely a viable product to go onto the market. But I don't want to do it without seeing what the interest is for the people. So anyone else here, guys, if you want to ask any questions, please do. I'm not plugging anything. Also, just guys, my name is Sham. This is your X-File. The truth is always out there. There's loads of links in the description. Discord and XYZ. Everyone's welcome to come and join. Grow the community from there. And of course, as you can see, my videos are quite different. Like these YouTube lives are quite different because we do a lot of community engagement and we have loads of people coming and asking questions, and I'm happy to answer those. Of course, if I don't know the answer, I won't answer it. I would just say I don't know. Like earlier on when he says DLC, my mind was kind of broken. It was like, no, I don't know. And then when he reminded me, I said, yeah, I do know, but I don't use it. You know what I mean? So I'll be always transparent with you guys. And yeah, so hold on, who's that? Okay, interrupted the live stream and kind of killed the whole thing. So I wasn't sure what was going on. I spent like a minute. I'm on the Discord saying, look how the live stream just died. So when I went to the YouTube studio to check what happened to the thing, turns out that the stream was still live. I didn't realize that. So here we are, guys. That was a weird one. That was a very weird one. So if you're still here, welcome back. I have no idea what happened there. That was the weirdest thing ever. I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, someone said something and the message went on review. So I don't know why. Oh, there we are. So now I see the message. So DJ says, calling all Chads, join the early retirement movement. Okay, that's one of the reasons why you got a review. So, okay. So you don't have anything to talk about on the thing. But I see you're here to promote your coin. Okay. No problem, DJ. Good luck. I think most people have left now already, but I'm not going to stick around anymore. Thank you very much to all of you guys for coming to the show. Thank you all of you guys who have genuinely asked questions and had a good conversation. Thank you very much. And thank you very much to DJ for promoting his coin on this live YouTube, um, live stream on YouTube, basically. So, but other than that, I'm going to catch you guys on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.